Nessun Dorma is the most popular aria in the work Turandot by composer Giacomo Puccini. This must have sounded familiar, but there's much more to it. The work is unfinished, as you'll discover in a moment. It talks about love, but it's hugely macabre: beheadings, torture, and even suicide. Today, you will find out how Pavarotti came to sing it and what performance is even more famous than Pavarotti's. It's time to get to know everything about one of the most important arias in history.
Welcome to Trembol Podcast, the place for music stories that thrill.
I suppose you, like me, when you listen to Nessun Dorma, you get goosebumps, especially when the tenor sings, "All alba vincerò, at dawn I will win." That would be enough for me. Listening to a play and getting excited is everything, but Nessun Dorma has so much history that when you get to know it, you will like it even more. We start with a quick round of questions. What does Nessun Dorma mean? It means nobody sleeps. For those who like grammar, a more accurate translation would be, I wish that no one sleeps, because the verb dormir, sleep, is conjugated in a type of subjunctive known as assortative conjunctive. Lexicon aside, Nessun Dorma represents the victory of love over hate. Which work does Nessun Dorma belong to? Nessun Dorma is an aria that plays at the beginning of the third and last act of the opera Turandot. Who is the author of Turandot? The music, for the most part, is by the famous Italian composer Giacomo Antonio Domenico Michele Secondo Maria Puccini, although friends called him simply Puccini. He wrote the libretto, i.e. the screenplay, with Giuseppe Adami and Renato Simoni. Who is the other author of Turandot? Yes, there is another author. Puccini died in 1924 from a throat cancer. He smoked like a carter and left it unfinished. The last two scenes were completed by the Italian composer and pianist Franco Alfano, under the supervision of the Italian composer and pianist Arturo Toscanini, considered the best conductor of his time and of the 20th century. When, by whom, and where was Turandot released? Turandot was premiered by director Arturo Toscanini at La Scala in Milan, Italy in 1926 and performed by the soprano Rosa Raisa and the Spanish tenor Miguel Fleta. Who is the most famous tenor that has ever sung Nessun Dorma? In 1972, Luciano Pavarotti recorded the complete version of Turandot with Joan Sutherland and Montserrat Caballé. It became a total success and an essential part of his repertoire. But that was not the most popular version of Nessun Dorma, but the one performed by Pavarotti himself, together with Plácido Domingo and José Carreras, the three tenors singing it together. A real treat. The most curious thing is that they didn't plan to sing it together. Pavarotti sang Nessun Dorma by himself, but the ovation was so great that the three of them decided to improvise an encore together and organized it on the march. Plácido Domingo is the one who suggests to his two companions how to do it in the middle of the song. What is the most famous recording of Nessun Dorma? The BBC used Luciano Pavarotti's 1972 recording of Nessun Dorma to promote their coverage of the 1990 World Cup in Italy. People went crazy with it. It peaked at number 2 on the singles chart in the United Kingdom, the best that a classical music recording has never gotten. In terms of album, the live concert of the three tenors Carreras Domingo Pavarotti in concert became the best-selling classical album of all time. The story of Nessun Dorma goes much further. You will now find out who Puccini was, the origin of Turandot, and some of the most important performances and recordings. But before that, the cinematic moment that made me fall in love with Nessun Dorma all over again. It belongs to Alejandro Amenabar's film Sea Inside, and it sounds when the protagonist, paralyzed from the neck down, dreams that he gets up and flies. Simply magnificent. Who was Giacomo Puccini? Puccini was an Italian opera composer born in Lucca on December 22, 1858. It is considered one of the greatest in history. He was a visionary because, as happens in cinema, he put music at the service of the play, just as Alfred Hitchcock would do years later, use music to increase the drama. Puccini made his opera debut with Le Villi, The Villages, in 1884, although his first successful opera was Manon Lescaut in 1893, at his 35 years old. Although he mainly composed theatrical music, specifically 12 operas, 3 of them in one act that make up the triptych, Puccini also wrote Mass of Glory, Hymn to Rome, Caprice symphonic preludes, and minuets for string quartet. All these works, except for his last opera, Turandot, were composed by closing doors and windows, leaving the place where he worked without light, so he could concentrate more. In addition to music, his other passion was cars. He had several, and in fact he was who requested the construction of the first Italian off-road car because he wanted a vehicle that moved better in the mountains. He used those cars on tour around the world, since he tried to go everywhere where his plays were performed driving. Mixing German operatic techniques and Italian, he composed wonderful arias, among the most well-known, O mio babbino caro, O my dear dad. Che gelida manina, what an icy little hand, from La Bohème. And, of course, Nessun Dorma, Let No One Sleep from Turandot. Puccini died of throat cancer from all his smoking on November 29, 1924, leaving his last opera, Turandot, unfinished. What are the best parts of Nessun Dorma? At the beginning of the aria, there is a splendid moment when she sings Quando la luce splenderà. The moment the chorus comes in whispering and the tenor breaks it, asking for the night to end. It's magnificent. We couldn't fail to highlight the legendary ending. All the hairs stand on end when she sings, Vincerò will overcome. Which part excites you the most? Tell us about it in the comments. Fun facts about Nessun Dorma. Turandot is one of the most popular operas, being among the 15 most represented worldwide each year, although it appears after other Puccini operas such as La Bohème, Tosca, and Madama Butterfly. This is due to the fact that it is one of the most difficult roles for a soprano to play. Until 1990, China banned the performance of Turandot because it considered that it belittled to the Chinese. At the Real Madrid football stadium, Santiago Bernabeu, since 2011, Nessun Dorma has been played before every match. What is the meaning of Nessun Dorma lyrics? The original version is in Italian, and its meaning is the following: Nessun Dorma. Nessun Dorma. Let no one sleep. Don't sleep. Even you, O princess, in your cold room, you look at the stars. Who tremble with love and hope. But my mystery is locked up in me. No one will know my name! Over your mouth I will say it. When the light shines, and my kiss will dissolve the silence that makes you mine. His name no one will know. And we must die. Dissipate, O night. Hide stars, hide stars. At dawn I will win. I will win. I will win. Popular covers of Nessun Dorma. There are many popular artists who have sung Nessun Dorma. Among the best versions we find that of the great Italian tenor Andrea Bocelli, which he sings in almost all his recitals with enormous success. You've got the story of Andrea Bocelli on our channel. Don't miss it. Aretha Franklin performed her own English version at the 1998 Grammy Awards. Actually, it was going to be Pavarotti who would act, but he couldn't, and Aretha replaced him. Pavarotti himself sang it in 2001 and 2003 with Deep Purple vocalist Ian Gillan at his Pavarotti and Friends concert.
The secret's lost inside my heart. Nobody here will know my name. No, I will.
The great British artist Sarah Brightman also gave a magnificent performance on 2 of his albums. The airs of the Three Tenors, the Italian group Il Volo, sang it in 2016 in a tribute to them directed by Plácido Domingo. Other notable versions are that of the Italian singer Mina,
Nessun Dorma.
the heavy metal version of Manowar,
Nessun Dorma.
an English version called Bridge to Heaven,
Yes, we shall build a bridge to heaven. Together we will drink the wine of sky.
Paul Potts, a British Got Talent winner, or the one by the great Spanish singer Mónica Naranjo.
Tu pure, o principessa, nella tua fredda stanza.
Pavarotti's Nessun Dorma. Luciano Pavarotti would record his first complete version of the opera with Joan Sutherland and Montserrat Caballé in 1972, directed by the great Zubin Mehta. Although it was a great success, he did not sing the entire opera many times because his voice was too lyrical and could be harmed. Even so, Nessun Dorma became part of his repertoire as his star aria, so much so that he sang it on his last performance at the opening ceremony of the Olympic Winter Games in Turin in 2006, where he received one of the biggest ovations of his career. Nessun Dorma is unique. We hope you enjoyed the video and support us by subscribing to our channel or giving us a super thanks. With your support, we will carry on bringing you the best music stories.
Thank you, Trembles. We love you.